Hello and welcome to Pat Bear's Anime Club. This is my fall review and winter preview. That's right. So we're looking at the anime that closed out 2021, and then we're also looking at the anime that will be kicking off 2022. I am recording this live on Twitch as part of my Wednesday bonus streams, which I do at the end of every anime season. I like to do that. So, oh yeah, Ghost Valve is just in time. I will be referring to chat. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? It's January when you're watching this, and we have started off the new year. But we got to close out this year by looking at anime. Now, I didn't watch everything. Nope. Look, nobody watches all of the anime. In fact, there's anime that we'll talk about here today, or at least mention, that I couldn't watch because it wasn't available anywhere legally. So I didn't watch it. But there's plenty of shows that I could have watched and chose not to. Like our first anime to chat about here, 86 Season 2, which I guess you could call it Season 2 or Part 2, either way. More of 86. I did not watch it. I do like Mecha, but this shit is sad. This is a really sad show. I will say this for the animation, very good. And I know people who really love this show. They loved part one, they love part two. There's some zany moments in it, but for me, I watched about 3 episodes of the first part, and I was like, oh, I'm done here. So maybe it's up your alley, but it wasn't up my alley. Which also can be said about AIM Warrior at the Borderline. This is a Sunrise joint. It is a new mecha franchise, perhaps. Um, and I didn't particularly like the animation of it. The mechs didn't do it for me, and the mechs gotta do it for me if I'm going to watch a mecha series, which I do. I do enjoy mecha series. I have no idea what 86 is, but so many people in my timeline can't stop talking about it. Nathan, yeah, just go back. We'll go back a little bit here. It's got that thing of like it's. I don't mind a show that is affecting, but I also am not interested in shows that are designed specifically and only to make you sad. And that show seems to be designed as like a sadness project. And I don't need the whole thing to be that. But I also understand why people are into it. Now, as far as War of the Borderline, this just doesn't hit me. The animation style didn't hit me. The mech design didn't hit me. Um, I'm not against kids as pilots of mecha, but as I get older, I start to just like the magical kid is very important for action and fantasy and sci-fi anime. But as I get older, I'm just like, hey, stop doing that. And there's a look. This is not the only mecha piloted by a young person who should not be piloting mech that we're going to talk about tonight in this season of anime. But yeah, it just doesn't hit me. Um, okay, so banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Can you guess that this was based on a light novel? I'm sure you could guess. Um, I feel very conflicted about banished from the hero's party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Um, because I have the same problem with the anime that I have a problem with the manga. And that problem is me. It's not this show. It's not that this property failed to deliver on what it wanted to do. It's that it what it wants to do, I wish it wasn't doing, and I will explain that. So, if you picked an episode of this to watch, you would be hit with this like lovely OP, like great opening of just like, oh, this is a romance on the countryside. They're out in the boonies. Oh, there's this guy. Oh, he has a mysterious past, but like, and she might have as well. But it's lovey dovey, and there's all these supports, and there's kids around, and this is like, oh, this is like a slice of life romance. Hell yeah. And it is that, but it's mostly about the main dude, how he was banished from the heroes party, but the hero is still out there doing stuff, and she's very sad about doing those things. And there's a lot of violence and aggression and fights and betrayals, and obvious villains who are just, from the moment you meet them, you go, you are a bad person. And then people you weren't expecting to be betrayers. And as much as it has cute lovey-dovey moments between the two main characters, Rit and Red, which are adorable, and also there's a young lady who is an assassin, that works for the heroes party, and she has a tiny little spider named Mr. Crawley Wally. And if you say, oh, nice to meet you, Crawley Wally, she will remind you and correct you that Mr. is part of it. It's Mr. Crawley Wally. And that's a support spider. That spider is there to support this girl and is one of the best characters in the show. All of that rules. But also, there's a whole thing about like blessing from the gods, and are they a curse, and the blessings make you do things, and you're like, and you have to follow through, and the hero has to be a hero, and all of this shit that's just like, hey, what the fuck just happened here? I thought this was going to be cute. Because the opening and the ending themes make you want to believe it is. And the presentation of it being a slice of life, and a romance show, is great. But it's an action show with romance, not a romance show with a moment of action. Like, there's a lot of, like, our main dude slices a guy's hand off, that deserved it, but also, hey, we didn't need that. So overall, I am it's not what I wanted. Also, I did say that the show was blameless, it's on me, but also, sometimes the animations, when the two characters that are into one another, Rit and Red, when they're interacting, sometimes that animation looks bad, and it can't. If it's gonna be a romantic thing, that can't look bad compared to the fight scenes, which look incredible. So it is a thing of they want their cake and to eat it too, and I didn't like all the ingredients in the cake, and that is on me. But I think if you want an action show that's not an isekai, that's a pretty good one, because there's a bunch of isekai this season, and most of them are bad, and we'll get to them. And then we'll talk about. Here's the thing I didn't watch. I didn't watch. I like the first Blade Runner, and I've seen the theatrical release and the director's cut. I did not see the new one, and I have not seen any of this multimedia like thing. I haven't seen any of it. I can't tell you anything about Black Lotus. It's still happening because it started late in the season. Uh, it's on Crunchyroll. These are the details I can provide you with. Uh, the art style didn't do much for me. That's about it. Um, Again, I can't tell you anything about Build Divide Code Black other than that the hashtag and numbers there that's black. I know that. Uh, Everything is decided by Build Divide and its king who reigns supreme. But whoever can defeat him will be granted their heart's desire. When everyone has a wish, while everyone has a wish, the young dude here vows to win and get what he longs for. I think this is a card battling anime. I'm pretty sure this is a card battler. I want to say this is about battling. This dude, I think this dude has a card in his hand. Maybe it's not about card battling. I don't know. I have heard nothing about this. I don't know anyone that saw it. I can't tell you anything about it. I know I can tell you this is a card game series, the second season of Card Fight Vanguard Overdress. Yeah, it's season 2. Um, he just Gambit. Oh, okay. So Tony's letting me know that guy is just Gambit, or Tony is guessing that the guy is just Gambit, and this is not a card battler. I mean, it's some sort of fighting thing. This is a card battling one because it's card fight. It's card fight with two exclamation points. Um, Vanguard Overdress. This is a good name. It's a guess. Okay, yeah. Tony's just guessing. Sure. Hey, a bunch of studios. Hey, why did three studios work on this? That to me feels not good. That's a bad sign to me. I mean, everybody's getting credit, and that's good. Deep Insanity: The Lost Child, which is apparently a sequel to Deep Insanity Nirvana. I like Silverlink a lot. Um, but I'm not interested in a series that's called Deep Insanity. Um, it feels like it should be a shmup. It feels like that is a bullet hell game. Um, but yeah, I mean that's like Deep Insanity tells me it feels like either it's a shmup or it's one of those horror indie horror games that is designed specifically for streamers. So it's just full of jump scares, so that streamers can like overreact, and then maybe other people will buy the game. That's what that feels like. Danganronpa like, yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna see more. There's a couple that I just to me feel like, what is this fucking? This is Danganronpa like. Uh, that's coming up, I believe. Demon Slayer. Uh, this is the Mugen Train arc, Yaiba Mugen Train arc. So, this basically season 2 of Demon Slayer is the adaptation of the movie, episodes 2 through 7. Yeah, new scenes, new music, um, uh, new first episode for it. So if you saw the movie, you can skip this, but you can also go in. If you haven't seen the movie, you're not out of luck. This is interesting to me because the movie is canon. The movie is an adaptation of this arc, which is interesting because it wasn't enough to do like they could have done 2 arcs in a full like double length season and padded it out. But instead, they adapted it as a movie, which did very fucking well. That movie made a lot of goddamn money, which is great for them. Um, but yeah, this is the adaptation of it. So if you missed the movie, you can watch this. Doing the DBZ Super thing. Yeah, Tony. There are a few things you're going to see of that. Like the movie that came out this month, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero came out, which is the prequel, and that was a prequel comic or manga, and they adapted that as a movie, which you could just miss if you want, but it also fills out the world, which I like. I like them being related but not necessary instead of being extra and nonsense. I don't know. I appreciate it. Okay. Digimon Ghost Game. I just saw a friend of mine tweeting about how they are into Digimon Ghost Game and they wish they hadn't slept on it. So, if you're big on Digimon and you like the Digi part of Digimon, this is apparently pretty fucking cool. Uh, it's yeah, I have heard from now a few people, and the fact that it's the tags don't necessarily pay attention to the tags because the tags are user generated. So I don't know if this is horror. It might just because they're ghosts they got tagged with horror. I don't think they're gonna make a Digimon anime that is a horror anime. That's my guess. Um, I skipped the Mugen Train arc because the movie made me cry too much. Nathan, I understand. There's a lot. I mean, it's also Demon Slayer. There's a lot with Demon Slayer. There's a lot going on. Love Digimon. Still gotta check it out. Yeah, Tony, I didn't watch any of this. Episode 13 is airing in 9 days. So yeah, I have not seen any of this. Toei has been doing a good job with their latest projects here. Their long-term ones, can be hit or miss, but still, I've heard good things. I have no interest. It never did anything for me. Digimon has never appealed to me. So, um, then we got Irena the Vampire Cosmonaut. I didn't. I watched 2 episodes of this, and apparently, if I had stuck with this, I would have gotten to the part that I was looking for, which was it's not to me. This show is was way more about space and not enough about vampire. And apparently it gets more to be about vampire. But the concept of a vampire going to space sounds rad. It just sounds like a cool show. Um, uh, I I'm not opposed to, oh, this human and this vampire are going to work together and maybe they're going to like find some common ground and learn about cultures and that kind of thing. I guess I'm not opposed to that. I'm just, it's got to be good. I've just like, I've seen enough of it that you got to wow me. Because there's stuff, I would talk about this on Pat Bear's Anime Club quite a bit. Um, like, I don't need to see a Journey to the West adaptation. I don't need to see a Romance of the Three Kingdoms adaptation. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see anything to do with Sherlock Holmes. Even if it's brilliant, I don't care. I'll miss out. That's fine. But like different worlds adding in supernatural, yeah, I mean if it's good, I'll check it out. This just didn't appeal to me. Like I said, I got 3 episodes in. Um and it just, yeah, it just, the characters, I didn't care about them and it didn't draw me in. I wanted to like it, I just didn't. Comey can't communicate. Speaking of shows that I really wanted to like and I don't, um, I know, and I'll tell you this. This is about a girl that has an anxiety issue, disorder. You want to say? I don't know. She has a severe anxiety issue, and she is perceived as being this cool, cold ice queen beauty because she doesn't talk. No one. She doesn't talk to people. She doesn't respond to people. And she's not doing that because she is the Ice Queen. She's doing that because she can't bring herself to talk to people. And I've watched some videos, some video essays, and I've talked to a couple people about this show who also feel that high level of anxiety or felt that way in high school and have worked through it and worked on it. And they love that. They love how this communicates. I would say if you're interested in this, I would probably recommend the manga instead because there's a lot of text. They make the choice of, instead of always having a narrator speak the words, because there's a lot of like narration via text that I would say the manga probably is going to do a better job than the anime. So the idea of a dude who's got really nothing going on other than he's a nice guy, working on helping this girl, and they're developing friendship and possible relationship, maybe, who knows, but their interactions and then the people that she meets along the way, and her having friends and going out to eat with people and like I'm going to the library by myself and like her having fun and like going to a karaoke bar with her classmates. All this stuff is lovely. It's great. And her like getting jealous because she sees her friend with somebody she doesn't know and not knowing how to like deal with that. Like all of this stuff is really great. But it's a comedy. And so the supporting characters in the show are broad as hell, and everyone else is problematic at best and a problem in general. So, hey, our dude Tadano, oh, his middle school friend is in his class. So go talk to your middle school friend. Huh? Your middle school friend is presenting as a girl, but used male pronouns in middle school when you know them. But now that's your female classmate, and you're like, well, that's fucking cool as hell. It is, except because it's a comedy where this character is going to change with the boys or girls when they go to the pool and they have to go to the gender neutral bathroom at the assistance of the main character. He's like, well, then go fuck yourself. And yes, other characters are like, oh, I should say Kun instead, or Chan instead of Kun, or like, like, or the other way. It's like, oh, I'm going to change how I say your name. Great. But then some other people, but then there's other things where just like a reminder that's like, oh, I knew you as a boy. And it's like, that's not great. And I know that's for jokes, but I don't like those jokes. Um, you've got the Yandere character that can't believe that Comey is making friends and it's not her, so she kidnaps someone. And that's the introduction of this character. And then everyone's like, you're part of the crew now, and you'll be fine, except when you're not fine, in which case we can make jokes about it. Then there's a character that really wants to be friends with Komi-san, and it's like, oh great, that's awesome. But she doesn't want to be friends. She wants to be verbally abused by Comey, because that's her personality and that's her thing. And you're like, oh, is this going to be a tasteful exploration of this character? No, it isn't at all. Great. And it's just like every fucking character that we get introduced sucks so much. And you're like, oh, really ruined this show for me. So I love the core element of it. Oh, the fact that her dad is just as quiet, and her mom is like a beautiful ditz. That she's just like, oh, like she like boxed her own head, and she's like chatty and like the life of the party. I love that. I love that so much. Did not love this, and I wanted to. Again, as always, folks, if this is a show that appealed to you, if this is a show that you were like, that's my favorite show this season, hell yeah. That's great. I might be overthinking it, but all of these small things combine to make me dislike it. Moving on to Lupin the Third, Part 6. It's ongoing. We got a 2 core here. What was that note? I can't remember. Oh yeah, yes. Episode 0 was in here as well. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just mad that more people don't love this new Lupin. Part 6 is so good, and I'm bummed that more people aren't talking about how great it is. Oh, actually, let me go here. Glad to hear this perspective on Comey. Thought I was the only one since I didn't see much critique. Yeah, I've seen a lot of love. To go back to it, I've seen a lot of love for the handling and the exploration of her extreme anxiety. And so I hate to talk bad about it, but her having anxiety is made light of in the ways that it's like her overreactions and her like there's facial expressions suddenly and stuff that like is interesting and fun, and it's not making light of her or what it is, it's just having fun. But every other character is a punchline and a problem, and that's not fun for me. Going back to Lupin, also, hi Zandra. Hey Zandra. I said Zandra. Hey Zandra. Hey Zandra. Lupin the Third, Part 6. I want more people to see it. I'm telling you, I want you to watch this, and Sherlock Holmes is in it. You just heard me say I don't want any more Sherlock Holmes adaptations. I'm done with Japanese adaptations of Sherlock Holmes, but not when it comes to Lupin. Because hell yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun and so good, and this interpretation of Sherlock Holmes is great, and I mean, it's a fun full circle in a way of a previous Lupin series. The animation is top tier. This is where TMS is putting all their budget. Highly recommend it. Here's the thing about Lupin. You're like, oh, Part 6. Well, I have to go watch early stuff. No, just watch it. Just start with episode 0. Just watch it. You'll get the characters are well defined, and you'll get it, and you'll get the vibe, and you'll also, as you watch, you'll start to pick up those little parts of pop culture you didn't know that were being referenced, and you'll start to like vibe with it a little bit. You can pick up Lupin. You don't have to do research. You don't have to watch an explainer on YouTube. You don't have to go on Wikipedia and find a wiki on Lupin the Third. You don't have to do any of that. You can just watch it. Just watch it. It's good. Um, uh, Hey, remember when I said there are more anime about kids in Mecha this season? Here's one of them. Um, uh, it's it's part Mecha, uh, part school, zero interest from me. I think the mecha design is kind of fun. I think the mecha animation is not good. Um, and I didn't care about any of the characters. And I stopped. I gave this 4 episodes. I did not like these teens. Okay, so here is my I can't watch this show, but you might love it anime recommendation of any show this season. This is the show that I would say if you are a particular kind of person, you should check out Miroko-chan. I'm not. I watched the first episode and it freaked me the fuck out. This is a spooky, scary show. It's uh it's about a girl that can see ghosts. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret, folks. Goats are scary as shit, and she just pretends to ignore them. And honestly, that's the comedy part. The comedy part of this is that her choice is to ignore them, and some ghosts don't want to be ignored. And there are some I have been told from a friend of mine beautiful moments in this show. There's another girl who just seems to be attracting all of these ghosts, and another one that like knows what's up but doesn't want to say anything. And these fucking ghosts are incredibly detailed. These monsters are so well drawn and animated that if this is your fucking jam, this is your jam. And you probably already know that. You probably already read the manga and you're like, Pat, I watched every episode. I loved it. Uh, but no thanks. Not for me. I gave it a shot. Because I was hoping that it wasn't actually scary. It was just that it's a girl who can see ghosts. I was hoping that it was more comedy and less horror. The comedy is the horror. Um, Ghost Valve says, I enjoyed it, but I liked the manga and tolerated the extra fan service. Yeah, there's also like they had to fill in some stuff with some stuff, and yeah, it's uh there's like a lot more like bathing than you would need in your show. They were definitely. I feel like this anime is courting an audience, a particular audience. That hey, if that's you, that's you. But like, um, these fucking ghosts. Yep, I stand by it. These fucking ghosts. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of male gaze in this. Okay, see, the first episode didn't really have that, um, and that's a bummer. It's in there because these are high school kids. We don't need that shit. Um, yeah, but I think they're going for like a particular audience out there. Creeps. They're trying to appeal to creeps. We'll just say it. Whatever. Um, okay. Speaking of creeps, the main character of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. This is Core 2. Core 1 happened all the way in the beginning of the year. Here's Core 2, the 12 episodes. I believe there was 21 total. Because I believe the first one, yeah, or maybe 23. 23. I think the first season had 11 episodes, the first part of the season. Um, so, from a historical standpoint, this show is very interesting to me. I've talked about this before. I'll be brief about this. This is an isekai. This is um, a uh, a grandfather of the genre. This is of the modern genre. When we think, obviously, a lot of people think of Sword Art Online popularizing the abundance of isekai that we see. Um, this is an older light novel, but this light novel did incredibly well. It sold so many copies. It modernized so many things when we think of modern day isekai. But it also feels its age, right? Like uh, there are shortcuts we get now where uh, reincarnations don't get their memories back until they are like until like an event happens. Maybe they're 10 or 15 or 13. Like there's a time and suddenly they get their memories back, and then the characters merge together, right? Instead of being born and you're a brand newborn and you have all your memories. Uh, um, this show revels in the fact that its main character sucks shit. Rudy sucks. Rudy is a garbage person. And the point is that he's gonna eventually grow to be a not garbage person. But he sucks so much that it's hard to recommend the show because it's not fun to see him succeed. And him failing, of course he failed. He sucks. Um, but the art is also beautiful. If you just want to watch like an AMV on YouTube of footage of this set to like, I don't know, some kind of song, some kind of like heavy metal song, like modern like metal, I would say go for that. That might be the best, legitimately might be the best way to watch this show is AMVs, because the studio buying did an incredible job with this show. It's beautiful looking. The magic is animated so well. It's gorgeous, but it's not a good show. And it, as I said, it's important because we can see where we've come and how, and you can see why things have turned out the way they have with what is popular in reincarnation, in especially in light novels and in Japanese stories. And you can tell this is an old light novel because it's only got 4 words in its title. Um, uh, Instead of like 50. You can tell it's an old light novel. Um, I did not watch a single moment of Mute King, the Dancing Hero, because that's it. Is next year the year I upload my teenage AMVs? I mean, Xandra, yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, yes, please. I mean, yes. Um, Mute King, the Dancing Hero. Music is a weapon in this one, and I didn't watch it because music is a weapon. And the art, I was like, oh, that doesn't look good at all. That doesn't look good at all. But yeah, they're fighting monsters with like music and dancing. Um, Also, it's a remake of the classic anime retakes the stage is telling you that this is a remake of a thing I know nothing about. And hey, I don't know everything about anime, but I don't know what this is. Um, I do like that it's set in Neo San Francisco. I think that's cool. Love Love Alternative is not a good show if you love Love Love. If you if you appreciate the visual novel games in the Love Love universe, and you've read the manga adaptations of it, and this is not a good adaptation for you. You didn't end up with a good time with this. And if you don't know anything about Love Love, this is awful for you because it's an adaptation of. I mean, I've talked about this before. I tried my best to explain this. Here's the best thing I can do. First off, the very first episode is a Pat, is Love Love an actual thing, or did you just invent it 5 minutes ago and are playing a joke? No, Xandra, Love Love is I'll talk about Love Love in a second. Let me just tell you that the first episode of this anime is a tone episode. And yes, welcome, Brozarn. The first episode features 0 characters that you will see in the rest of the show. A bunch of characters go on their lives. You get a sense of what the world is. And that's cool if this show wasn't incredibly complicated. They waste one of their 12 episodes on tone. So here's my best to explain it. Love Love, the first Love Love. The first 2 visual novels are one game, and the second game, but I'm going to do them as part 1, part 2, and part 3, even though it's 2 games because it's part 1, part 2. Part 1 is a silly comedy about a dude that has a girl that likes him, and then another girl wakes up one morning is in his bed, and he's like, "What's happening right now?" It's a high school comedy. It's a visual novel, so you're making choices and you're playing it out. it is ecchi because that is what was selling at the time, and Love was a prime example of that. Of like, hey, this one isn't is gonna be like sexy question mark, but like whatever. The audience was also younger people. It was it was high school for high school. It is what it is. Part two is shit. Uh, I woke up. The main character woke up and no one's around. And it's not a comedy anymore. Because that main character is in an alternate dimension where there are mechs and people he knows are slightly different and they don't remember him, and he's the only one that remembers the alternate world that he came from. So the same fucking disc or whatever, uh part one and part two are. The part one is just like, hey, what happened? And then like part two is like, hey, what the fuck happened? It changes, it becomes a different thing. And Love Alternative is the third game, visual novel, where our main character wakes up basically where he was at the start of part two, with all of the knowledge of what happened and what went wrong into in part two. So part three, this fucking anime adaptation is an isekai time travel where this dude, and you're like, oh great, well he's used to it, right? Because he lived through it. But he like forgets moments because he doesn't have a full memory of what happened. So he also is doing the same goofy shit he did in part two. And none of that is properly explained in episode two of Love Alternative. Love Alternative is just him waking up and going, this isn't what I had. But like all of the comedy shit from like the first part is not there. And you can find these. You can find them. Nathan says, my head hurts. Yeah. So you can understand, like, I know that is a cult classic. But what's happening? So there's also a spin-off manga that has its own anime that came out a few years ago. That's basically like, instead of what Japan was doing, it's what Germany was doing during this war. And if you're interested in this world, I think that's actually better because that doesn't make mention of any of this other stuff. That's set in part two, but it's from the perspective of another country. So you don't have any of the like main character bullshit to worry about. I think it starts with an S. It's like Schwartz something or other. It's a made up word that sounds German but isn't. Um, but yeah. Anyway, Love Alternative. Why the fuck did they make it? I don't know. My senpai is annoying. This is a show that I okay, so okay, I had no idea that's what it was about. I thought it was just some etchy mech show. I mean, it is a kind of. So it kind of is that Brozard, but there's a lot more going on. Anyway, my senpai is annoying. Ooh, this is a Dogakobo joint. So you kind of know what this is if you're familiar with the anime they make. So I talked about how I like the main characters in Comey Can't Communicate, and all of the minor characters bum me out. This is the opposite. Uh, so the part is my senpai is annoying. Part of the thing is that she just has always looked like a child. Her flashback characters, the character down in the bottom left there is her childhood friend who looked out for her because she always looked young. She's just, that's her thing. She just looks young. She's like a working girl, and part of her charm, she's very short. Also, the character that is holding her is her annoying senpai, and he is a giant man. He is a giant, huge man. Also, her grandfather is a giant, huge man. And that is like a gag, is that they're both giant, burly men, but they're looking out for her. So I like their interactions. I don't dislike, but that's not the part of the show I actually enjoy. The part of the show I actually enjoy is the characters in the upper right. Their romance, their like friendship into a budding romance, is way fucking cuter. because there's nothing weird about it. There's like a shy dude who's like a hard worker, and like his quirk is that he's just like when he gets called out for like looking at a girl in a bikini at the beach and like probably looking too long. He doesn't like he doesn't overreact. He's just like, "You're right, that I did do that." Um, and their budding romance is fun and cute, whereas the quote unquote romance of the two actual main characters is not a romance because he doesn't see her that way, and she is pretty tsundere about the whole damn thing because she's a spunky, short little, young looking character. So she wants to be treated like an adult, but she also gets very embarrassed. And their friendship is adorable, but I don't see them as romantic partners. Like, they're going to get nominated for Best Couple for the Anime Awards, which I've talked about that before, how most of the time they don't include any actual couples in that. They have, like, people who are, like, not couples. They're just there. Or the whole point is that they're not a couple. Like, that's a separate thing. But yeah, the part with the younger brother borders on uncomfortable. Yeah, there's also a younger brother, and his like growing attraction to his to one of the characters is honest in that that would be true, but is weird, and I don't love that. You're not wrong, Brosard. Um, Also, I really want more to do with the Russian girl who doesn't. There, the bottom right corner, there's this like weird girl from Russia that doesn't understand what Japan is, and it's pretty funny. Her just like she is the weirdest person in the show, and that's kind of fun. Um, but yeah, younger brother. That's the worst part of the show. Probably is his interactions with some of the female characters. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you're right, Broser. So I will say this. Um, if you like those kind of like, oh, these are opposite people and whatever, like, no, do not apologize, Brozard. One of the reasons why I do this live is so I can communicate with folks and hear what their thoughts on stuff. And sometimes people have thoughts on shows that I haven't seen, and they bring up stuff that I overlooked or chose not to mention. But it's important to bring that up. Yeah. One of the girls, yeah, he's in the upper left corner there. He's a young guy, and some moments are like not great about it. Anyway, hey, I can't tell you anything about Platinum End. I read this description and I knew I wasn't going to watch it. I can tell you it's a blend of CG and digital that does not look great. Um, I don't generally like murder sport anime, like battle royale style anime. So this did not appeal to me. But basically, like, yeah, this dude was going to kill himself, and instead he's part of a death game, which sounds worse. Um, but basically, they're like angels, and they're going to battle with each other, and it's every clip I've seen of this just seemed totally fucked, and it did not seem enjoyable. Um, but yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where I was just like, oh, I don't want to watch this anime. I'm gonna pass on it. Hello, John Robert. Welcome. Welcome. We're chatting about some anime that came out this particular season, and then we're going to preview next season. But first, we have to talk about Purore, Pride of Orange. Um, I want you to look at the tags on this because these are accurate. Music, slice of life, sports. And if you're like, Pat, how is an anime about a girls' hockey team also have music involved? It is just it is a hockey anime, but it's also an idol anime because they play hockey and then they perform songs on the ice. So it's almost like it's not ice dancing. This thing is not good. I gave it 2 episodes. Yeah, if this had been, because look, this season only had one girls doing stuff show. There was only one. and we'll get to it later. There was only one. This was the closest we got to, because this is girls doing sports, which I'm generally less interested in than girls doing an activity and then being fun and enjoying that activity. I like those shows. That is a genre I enjoy. Um, so this got that, but it was sports, which I'm generally not always interested in. Um, but yeah, the coach decides, and it's not in the description. So when it happens, it's like, what's fucking happening right now? But yeah, it's also an idol show because they also perform and sing. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make the show better. It just makes the show weirder. Yes, they had me at ice at hockey and lost me at idol. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because like, look, I've I've liked some I've liked some sports anime. I've liked an idol show. You know, Zombieland Saga is still incredible. And Revenge, the second one. That's a beautiful, weird idol show because it's about zombies. Um, but yeah, this one I was just like, oh no, I'm good. I mean, it's ambitious. It's an ambitious project, but I'm good. Um, Ranking of Kings is it's a double length, so we're still going on with this. And I read some of this manga, and I have not checked out the anime, and I probably will once it's done, because it's a really interesting idea. Um, but it is a deal breaker for me in anime is children in peril. So, uh, Made in Abyss, no, no thank you. Promise Neverland, no thank you. Um, uh, those are shows that are well loved, beloved even, but have children in peril, and I just can't. I've never been able to do that. Um, so Ranking of Kings is it's an interesting idea of like going with somebody who's like this like a person in royalty that everyone has given up on, and this shadow who has obviously his own backstory and trauma, kind of working together. And Wit Studio does a great job with all their projects, so I'm sure that it's great, and I might catch it next season. Um, but it just feels like not the kind of show that like it feels like like I said, it does have the deal breaker moment of children in peril, which is not my style. Um, Restaurant to Another World is my style. Um, Look, I don't know what to tell you. It's a food anime, slice of life isekai. It's an isekai where all of the fantasy characters open doors in their fantasy world one day, like once a week, to a restaurant, and they eat in that restaurant, or it's once a month. Like yeah, um, and then this dude makes incredible food. This is the one I watched. There you go. I mean, look, if you're going to watch one show this season, this is not a bad one because this doesn't have to be something you watch weekly. You could just, marathon through this on a weekend. If you're looking for a show to pick up, I would recommend this. The first season is great because it is different characters but they do have some interspersing stories, but it's mostly about the food, and it is food porn. And not Food Wars food porn with a capital P. This is capital F food porn. It's that kind of thing. It is enticing, beautiful. Yes, it is harmless. If you're like, oh, it's cool if like a demon girl and a sacred dragon work at this restaurant and serve great food, and the food is gorgeous, and like the little stories of like, oh, my grandfather used to come here and now I'm doing it, or I was dying and this door opened and I found this place. That's why I built this cabin. Um, and like, hey, you know how we like beer? Check out how cold this beer is. It makes it better. And people are like, it does make it better. it's lovely. And the waitress on the right there was going through some stuff, and her life is better now because of working there, and it's nice. It's a lot of nice. It's a nice show. Um, if you don't like one of the episodes because you didn't like the dish, move on to the next one. The guy that works in the Coliseum fighting so he earns money for the food. That's his reward. The money goes to the food. Oh, I love that. I love that cat man, or lion man. Rumble Garndal. I did not watch any of Rumble Grandar or Grandal. There's another one of those shows that I didn't know existed until I did my preview of this season, and I forgot it existed. And now I'm like, okay, um, it's another mecha show, but I didn't, I didn't watch any of the mecha shows this season. Literally, I didn't watch a single mecha show. There were like five of them. Mecha was big this season, and none of them attracted my attention. Uh, Even if it is in Akihabara, and it is a bunch of ladies fighting. It's if you want to talk about the male gaze, this show just felt like I was like when I read this description, I was like, oh, there's censorship and there's like back alley Akihabara stores and ladies piloting mechs and fighting back. Yeah, this isn't going to be good. No thanks. Uh, I believe this is the last mecha show of the season. And again, I have a few friends that really like Sakugan. It's got that kind of like it's not bebop energy, but it's got that like fun adventure. We're going out. We're we've got a mech. We're going out there. We're gonna have some adventures. We're gonna have some hardships. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna have some slapstick. But again, it is a child in peril, and I am not interested in anime with children in peril, so I didn't watch it. Um, and I have a few friends that really enjoyed it, and so I might end up checking it out. But yeah, it is over, so maybe I'll watch the. Okay, I don't recommend this, but I have often watched the last episode of seasons of anime to see if I was going to watch the show. And I don't necessarily recommend that, but I have done that. Just be like, let's see how this ends. Let's see if I want to see how we got there. I don't know these characters. I don't have any attachments to them. But like, oh, I'm not saying this is about the show, but there has been shows where I'm like, oh, this person dies and it's awful. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to watch this show. I now know I spoiled myself. I don't want to be spoiled, but I will spoil myself. Um, okay, so this slice of life. Did anyone pick this up? I don't. Oh, Funimation did. Okay. This is a an idol slice of life that I did not watch because I am generally not interested in idols. Also, a thing called the Selection Project sounds bad, right? Doesn't that sound sinister? I'm working on becoming one of the 9 chosen idols for the Selection Project. That sounds bad, right? That sounds like, oh no, what happened? A little bit, right? Even a little bit. I don't know about that one. Uh, this is another sci-fi show. Is this Music is a Weapon? No, this is the Shrine Maiden ones here. Uh, yes, wake up in a bathtub device. No, this is another like weird blend of CGI and no, it's not. It's all CGI. There's not a blend. And it was on High Dive. Look, I'm not saying that High Dive's exclusives are always weird, but they often pick they often pick shows that I'm like, I don't know about that one. Their exclusives are often pretty weird, especially now that they don't no longer have a deal with Verve or through Crunchyroll, and so it's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about a High Dive exclusive, other than if you want to see the movie for Non Non Biore, the movie is on High Dive. So they have a few good things. That sounds, congratulations, you will go to space and start a colony on Mars kind of bad. Yeah, Xandra, I agree. And like I said, this show, I don't know anything about it. There's a team, they got to fight people, they got to fight Oni, and they got battle suits. And I haven't seen a clip of it anywhere. Um, Okay, Taisho Oto Otome Fairy Tale. Too bad High Dive is no longer part of Earth. Yes, Dirty, I agree with you. It's a bummer. Uh, because they have a few things that I really like, and I ended up getting it for a month just to watch a few of those things because I wasn't using it when I had it. It was my own fault. Taisho Otome Fairy Tale is very cute, and I liked it, but I didn't love it, and it doesn't do anything. It does everything okay. You got your two characters thrust together. You've got your main character who has had it fucking rough and should be and is full of self pity and has kind of deconstructed or kind of dissolved. And the love of a good woman brings him back. Now, is that kindness from anyone? And does her kindness open the door for him to have opportunities to meet other people that are not there because they have been hired to be there? Yes. Does she have enough going on in her life? And do we get enough of her? Absolutely not. We do, other than her being a cute, lovely young lady who is doing her fucking best. I want more. I want more from her. I want more from her. This anime does not pass the Bechtel test. Let's just say that, which obviously does not have anything to do with quality, is literally just do two female characters talk about something besides a man? And in this case, no. There's a couple other girls, but it's always around the relationship that she's in and her being a bride. But it is this thing of like, yeah, she's nice, and that does bring him around, but also therapy could have done that, or like friendship. So I don't know. I watched it. It was meh. Pretty. Uh, Folks, music is a weapon. The themes from this season were Mecha and music being a weapon, and this is another music is a weapon. Um, and this image looks bad, but the art is actually better. This is a bad representation of the art style. And the music, hey, here's the one thing that's good about this. You know, you got your conductors and you got your like weird magic robotic people that have abilities fighting and they fight monsters with music like powering them up. The music's fucking great in this thing. It's really good. Um, I watched 3 episodes and I decided I had my fill. I'm sure that it ends tragically because why wouldn't it? That's the vibe of this. If you like music as a weapon style things, this is probably the one to watch instead of the other ones. Um, Holy shit! I'm just gonna read you. Genius Nikola Tesla preserved records of all his inventions inside crystals known as Tesla shards. If reading that sentence piques your interest, you should watch Tesla Note. I don't think it's. I didn't watch an episode of this. Here's the thing, right? I don't need to watch the first episode to know I'm not going to like this show because that sentence is just like, nope, nope, I'm good. And then you get to Botan, a descendant of ninjas raised to be the ultimate agent, has to recruit the Tesla shards. The art on this turned you off. Yeah. Um, uh, Folks, companies got to figure out this new CGI. They're trying to use motion. They're trying to use motion capture, which is interesting. Hey, welcome. They're trying to use motion capture, and I think that's cool, but they're not doing a good job of it, right? The 2020s, the early 2020s, and the late 2000 teens are going to be remembered for this awful looking. They're going to remember for two things. One, digital animation that has CG monsters that don't mesh with it. We're getting more RA for it soon, and we're going to see a lot like basically any action show these days is digital, and then the monsters are CG done by a different studio. Um, we're going to remember how bad that looks, and then we're going to remember shows like X Arm, which is one of the worst anime that's ever been put out there. Oh boy, it's available. Don't watch it. And then stuff like Tesla Note that is just like, oh, they were trying, huh? It doesn't look good now. It's never going to age well. And then we very soon, at the time of this recording, Faraway Paladin will be wrapping up, and this is my favorite show of the season, but only half of it. I think it's better than the nice percentage that it's getting here of just chart, people. So this is an isekai. Um, it is a reborn, but our main character, Will, does not have all of the memories of like at moments. Like he doesn't have memories of it. He just has the feeling. He knows what happened. And the feeling he has from his previous life is regret. He is on the cycle of rebirth because he is filled with regrets of not taking action, of not trying, of not contributing anything, of being nothing. Um, uh, um, there's nothing great about his previous life, and that takes a little while for us to uncover. The This series is in two halves. The first part of the series, the first bunch of episodes, is Will going from being a child to a young adult, aging up, learning the mysteries of his world, learning from his parents, who are a mummy and a skeleton man and a specter. Who he kind of considers like his grandpa, and he considers Mary and Blood his parents, who were not born that way, and we find out why. We learn about the goddesses. We learn what happens to this world and what happened to the area that he lived in. And we also kind of get what his deal is. And it's slow and it's sad in many ways, and it's beautiful in many ways as well. And it's so like watching the opening, you're like, hey, there are characters we haven't met yet. And it's episode 7, and we haven't met some of these characters yet. And then the second half is kind of a good action series, an action fantasy series of this like power. He's not overpowered, but he's very powerful do-gooder guy trying to spread the word of the goddess that he is worshiping, and spread her message, and cleanse the undead, so that they can begin the cycle of rebirth, which has ended. And he's trying to heal people because he's a paladin. He's learned from a warrior and a priest and a wizard. He can do all that shit. He's got strong, cool weapons, which is neat. Got a cool sword, cool spear. And the characters that surround him eventually are fine, but they're not like incredible. They're like, all right. And it's not disappointing. It's just in my perfect, if I got to choose it, the whole first season would end with him starting his journey instead of like partway through the first season. And that's why not everything should necessarily be adapted, because mangas are ongoing and they're not necessarily structured to be 12 episode, 13 episode arcs. Um, so I don't know. I like the Faraway Paladin a lot. It is my favorite show this season, but if I rewatch it, it'll be the first couple episodes. Like I'll never be like, I gotta go back and watch episodes 10, 11, and 12. Like, I mean, look, episode 12 hasn't come out yet. Maybe I'll change my mind this weekend, but I doubt it. The Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. There is a particular sort of isekai fan that I am not that will love this. Look, part of the genre's elements of this subgenre of the modern isekai is a harem. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna get a bunch of characters together. You're gonna have a person who is either a good person or a person that's been picked on suddenly become awesome and incredible, and women are going to be drawn to him, and that's it, right? That's what this is. This dude, like, I'll read the first sentence. Seichi is an ugly, revolting, dirty, smelly fat ass. These are the insults hurled at him one after another about his appearance. Uh, and then everybody in his class gets sent to another world, and he's isolated by himself. And then he eats the fruit of evolution, and he becomes awesome. He looks better. He's skinnier. He's stronger. He's got incredible powers, and then everything's great for him. I should also point out that two other characters in the show, one was an ape who became a person when she ate the evolution, and the other was a donkey who is now a woman. And it sucks. The whole anime sucks. I wouldn't recommend it. Even I would say clips on YouTube if you want to see him be overpowered. There is an old man who tries to sweet talk him into learning magic because he's like an old dwarf man that knows a lot of magic, and so he tries to act like cutesy, and that's kind of funny. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend this at all. I would say Restaurant to Another World Season 2 is the best isekai this season. Faraway Paladin, right up there with it. Fruit of Evolution, no thanks. And there's another, we got at least one more isekai to talk about. I think there's only one more. There was a lot of anime this season, and I didn't watch almost any of it. Night Before Tri-Cornered Window, Night Beyond, I should say. Didn't watch this. I don't even know. Okay, this did come out. Crunchyroll had this. Didn't hear anything about this show. No idea about this one. Um, Comedy drama mystery slice of life. The Vampire Dies in No Time is boring as hell, but you can't even see it in this photo. There is a tiny armadillo named John, and he rules. There is a tiny cute armadillo named John, and he is the best. This is about a vampire who is immortal, but also not scary at all. And a vampire hunter who they end up becoming. It's a buddy. It's a unlikely partners situation. Uh, its humor isn't good, but it does have a very cute armadillo, and I love him. And I will protect him. And also, everyone in the show cares about John the Armadillo a lot. Everyone is always looking out for him, and I like that a lot. But yeah, I didn't finish it. Um, World's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as aristocrat. Um, so I've read the manga of this and stopped eventually, and I did not watch and I watched some of it. I love the idea of you're already the world's best assassin, and then you die and you get reincarnated into um, a fantasy world where you're going to learn magic on top of your already great assassin skills. Like a sniper who also can use magic. That's pretty cool. Um, I like that. There's a fun thing where the old man transitions into being the young man that is kind of fun. Also, uh, I read the manga. I didn't read the light novel. The manga takes out some stuff from that's in the light novel that the anime puts back in, so it's kind of interesting from that perspective. Also, it is the main thing of this is the dude has been reincarnated to kill the hero because in the future, the hero goes mad with power and destroys the world. So our dude has to grow up, meet the hero, get close to the hero, have the hero defeat the demon lord, and then kill the hero. And the first season, spoiler alert, the first season ends with him finally meeting the hero. The rest of the first season is just seeing this murderer murder and get better at assassination, and then also put him together himself, his harem, his like girl that he discovered who he trained to be his assistant slash sister, another girl that under another disguise he met and rescued and then brainwashed to be his sister slash assistant, and then the girl that showed up to train him in magic who he has quote unquote fallen in love with, I guess. Um, and it's not great. None of this is great. Um, that sounds a little weird. It's not good. It's not. Oh, also his mother is fucking creepa. His mother is loves him, and it's weird and not great. It's not great. There's a lot about his his gas. He is so proud of how he is gaslighting them, and it's also very clear to me anyway from reading the manga that the sister, his sister, who is the business one, he is not brainwashed at all. Um, yeah, everything, but it's not great. 5 episodes turned it off how really horny it is. And episode 6 got into sexual assault and just dropped it. Yeah, yeah, no, it's so weirdly horny. I mean, there's a lot of like, hey, this is an unflappable killing machine, except uh, except when he has morning wood, and gets very fucking embarrassed about that. He is comically embarrassed about that. And it's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with this. I don't fucking recommend it. I do think it's awesome that the goddess uh, that has brought him here, she has an on purpose, incredibly annoying voice and sounds like an asshole. And you can feel it in the Japanese. I don't even know if there's a dub. I haven't seen a dub of it, but you can feel how much she sucks and how she's awful. And I think that's great voice acting. Visual prison. Music is a weapon, but also what if vampires? I can't remember if these are vampires. Um, oh, they're immortals. Music is a weapon. As I said, that is a theme of this season. Uh, and then we got. Hey, guess what? Music is also a weapon if you are magical girls. This was based on a video game. Uh, I think it's an ongoing or it's a double length, but yeah, because episode 14 is airing soon. Um, it's a stage show with magic. I kind of like that, but I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna watch that. Um, World Trigger, third season. I It's fucking rad that World Trigger has a third season. World Trigger ran as a weekly series years ago and had like 61 episodes and then went away. And then last year, season 2 happened, and now we had season 3, or it might have even been the beginning of this year. And now they're just doing um, like shorter episodes or shorter seasons, and it's back, and that's cool because there's a lot about the show that fucking rules. My problem with this show is there are two parts of the show. There are monsters called neighbors, which I think is actually a cool name for it. There's monsters and invaders from another dimension, and then also it's a school training battle system tournament series. And the tournament is long and boring. And I know that some people love it, but I like it when they fight monsters, not when they fight each other in a virtual world to rank up so that they can get a high enough rank to go on away missions. I don't love that part, and that's what all of season 3 has been. Season 1 was, which like I said, again, 60 episodes, was like a mix of the two, and season 2 had a little bit of the other, but mostly season 2 has been this. Uh, and it's just like, okay, we got another humanoid looking neighbor joining our crew. He's also gonna fight, and now we're stronger. It is rad that the main girl in the show is an incredibly powerful sniper that also doesn't want to shoot people. So she uses she blows up buildings near people. But she can't she provides support. I think that's kind of fun. Also, I like that she's very tiny and packs a big, has a lot of magic power. That's fun. Um but yeah, I don't love the inner school combat, and that's what most of this fucking show is. So it also looks pretty damn good. Um, I have not watched any of the second act of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. I did not love Yashahime. I love the idea of it. I love that instead of whereas Boruto is just like more Naruto, this is this world and the other people are around, but it is the story of these three girls. And I think that rules. I just am not super interested in their story. Uh, so I haven't been watching it. And I know absolutely nothing about Yuki Yuna. So to watch the third season of a show that I know nothing about, that is a high dive show, so I have not watched it. Um, but this is another like magical girl show. Uh, but I don't think it's not like psychologically creepy. Um, okay, and then shorts. Real quick, we'll go through this because we got to get into the preview for the next season. But I have to drink something here. I'm talking straight. I haven't watched any of these. A lot of these are not available in the United States or in English or digitally. They're just on Japan. Um, so even though I would like to see Denji meets girl because this looks cute as hell, it is not available anywhere in for me to watch it legally. So I would have to hopefully it would get picked up eventually or released on Blu-ray or something. So I have not seen that. Time to learn Japanese. Yeah, I guess. Um, uh, yeah. Also, a lot of these shorts are going to be for kids, so they don't necessarily get picked up here. Sometimes kid stuff does, but usually it's in package deals. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I wouldn't mind seeing this because it looks weird. Um, it's it's the anime adaptation of a fitness game for the Wii. And I kind of like that, or Switch, I should say. But it does feel a little bit like Wii Fitness. But yeah, have not seen that. Um, this is the only one I stopped watching. This is Let's Make a Mug 2. As I said earlier in the stream, um, I love the genre of girls doing an activity together. The club activity. I'm very high on that as a genre, as a subgenre. Um, but they don't fucking make enough mugs. They don't make enough pottery in this show about a girls' pottery club. Because, yes, cute girls doing cute things, indeed. They don't have to be cute, they often are. But yeah, girls doing stuff. Um, Here's the problem with Let's Make a Mug 2. As I said, they don't make enough mugs or anything because this show is paid for in large part by a city known for its mugs. So this fucking show exists as tourism. It is paid for by the tourism board of Tajimi City. Um, Cute or cool, I'll take either. Hell yeah. Yeah, it can be cool girls doing cool things. So, because this is about a city, it has to have real world locations. It has animated versions of real places, and it has a live action component where the voice actresses go and see the places from the anime. That also airs directly after the anime, and in which generally we don't see here, is also available on Crunchyroll. Uh, Very important question from Sandra: do we get to see the city mascot? Um, so the two little friends in the bottom corner of that photo, kind of like they're like introduce the episode, sort of, but not really. And they kind of like do the previews. They're around. Um, uh, so you do see a little bit of like the water fountains and the various kappa that are around, because it's a city with a lot of kappa structures. I would say the first season's fine enough to watch, and also the first season of the live action, the voice actresses there is kind of interesting. The second one's weird because, or the first one towards the end is weird because of COVID, and you can really feel that it's COVID. The second one's weird because the show wasn't a hit, but the city is like promoting it as if it was a hit. So there's like billboards of the voice actresses' faces at the airport or the train station, and there's like a bus that they go around. This poor city worker has to drive around a minivan with like side decals of like uh, four girls from like basically this image to promote the anime because the anime promotes the city. And they went for a ride in the van, and they were like, "Do you like this?" And the guy was just like, It's different. He literally, in a show that is paid for by the city, the best he could do was say it's different. Um, uh, I will say this: the live action is kind of fun because they do more pottery in the live action than the anime component, really, because they did also meet high school girls who are in a pottery competition, and the high school girls they met, they were working on a cool, weird project that had like a bunch of eyes. It was like avant-garde and fucking weird as hell pottery. That's in the anime. Later in the anime, um, because they put the girls, the real high school girls, in as background characters in this competition at the end of the first season, and the thing that they made was in the anime, and that is incredible. And that rules. But the show on its own is just frustrating. Um, the second season also introduced a character who wants to be a rival of like the cool, knowledgeable girl, and she doesn't want to have a rival, and so it just feels awkward the whole time. Not a big fan of Let's Make a Mug 2. I don't recommend it. Episodes are short, but meh. And then Leftovers, I didn't. The parts of this anime that make it a good video game make it a boring anime because it's an anime ass video game, but it's a anime ass anime. So no, I'm good. Aquatope on White Sand is an original. I appreciate originals. PA Works does beautiful work. This show did not need to be 24 episodes. It could have ended at episode like 11 and would have been fucking fine. This felt padded and unnecessary, and also a little queer baiting. I'm just gonna say it. This show, there are moments in this show that are definitely not male gaze oriented, but they are definitely like, hey, maybe these girls like each other, but we're not gonna like get into it. Like, this is cowardly. Aquatope White Sand has a little cowardly in it, but it is beautiful. The elements where they feel like they're in the water in the aquarium part are beautiful. There's like cool moments, um, but it is it it needed an editor, a stronger editor. It basically like needed someone to say, you don't get this many episodes. Let the girls like each other. Indeed. Yes, it's a little cowardly. Well, it's that thing of like, there are shows that do that, right? There are shows that like there are only a couple moments in some anime, like New Game. New Game is a great example. In season 2, they flat out basically are just like, those two girls love each other, they're a couple. Now they're going to be long distance, and so they're cowards, and that their characters are cowards. But like every girl in that show is gay. Like, come on. Watch New Game. Everybody's queer on that show. Or non-binary. Or maybe not non-binary, maybe they're demisexual or asexual. But like I know Ozark's making me laugh so much. I know other directors that use soft Yuri and they're all cowards. Yes. Aquatoba White Sand is a little cowardly. Great Jahi will not be defeated. Here's the thing. Oh, is a cute show. 20 episodes. It started like last season in the middle, like towards the end. It was weird. I don't feel like anyone watched this show. Jahi is really cute, but I'm just feel so fucking look. She brings it upon herself, right? She's the number 2 for the Demon Lord. She's awful to her subordinates. She's a good, number 2 in that respect. She ends up in a chibi form because she's lost all her magic and she's on Earth and she has to collect things. And things don't go great for her. Most of the comedy in the show is things not going great for her and her being sad. And then like little moments of like, oh, a human is supporting her. It's a child, but they're supporting her. And like, oh, she met somebody who's also from the demon world. And that person is very successful, but also really misses Jai being like a full-sized adult who is mean to her. And you're like, all right, great. And there's like Hey, there's a magical girl that you also. I just feel so sorry for her because her life fucking sucks. Other than being a strong magical girl, she's got nothing going on. Um, the premise is fun, but I just really feel so bad for her. It's just so many episodes. I'm just like, oh no. Like, the devil is a part timer, right? Things aren't going great for him, but he is delusional and he is positive enough that he's going to turn things around. Jai gets fucking sad a lot in this. Like, it affects her. Uh, so the premise is good. I don't think the execution's that great. Um, and then movies. I'll go through this really quickly. You can check it out for yourself. A lot of these movies don't come out here, so you can't watch them. I do want to see this Eureka because I saw the previous movie. Uh, uh, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. I want to see this. I'm hoping Crunchyroll actually gets this at some point. I imagine they will, because this is the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, that is referenced here and there in the show and features some of the characters that we now see there. We'll see them as younger people. I think that's great. I like to see that. I was reading this one, Interrogation Princess QT manga. Uh, that one being Jai. Yes, weirdly dropped all of them at the same time. Yeah, Brozart. Sometimes they don't hit us right. Didn't watch this. Like I said, I did. It's hard to see some of these movies, and some of them also I wouldn't want to see because I haven't watched the anime they're based on. Sing a Bit of Harmony is a musical show, but it also feels like I'm gonna cry at the end. It just seems like weird. I don't know. I've heard good things about this. I would like to see it. Um, is it on Funimation? Did they pick up that? Wait, no, their Instagram. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I should watch this Sword Art thing at some point. I like this. I like the idea of progressive. So, Sword Art. Everyone's in virtual reality, and then they can't get out. And then if you die in the game, you die in real life. Um, and then we skip ahead, and there's flashbacks, but then we skip ahead. This is the part that gets skipped. This is like people coming to terms with what's happening. I think that's cool. Also, there's no way that our main dude has a harem yet. Kirito doesn't have a harem because he doesn't get one until later. So if you agree with me that the worst part of Sword Art is that it just becomes a collection of girls who are in love with the main dude, and he just keeps adding more girls that he only expresses his interest in one of them, and then also one of them is his not actual sister but raises his sister, distant cousin, then you would agree that maybe just focusing on the fact that it's before that would be cool. Uh, is Sword Art Online Fate? So, Xandra, Fate is a bunch of different shit that's all interconnected. Sword Art Online has it is it's lots of Sword Art Online, but it does follow a timeline. And this is just going and piecing it apart. Now, there's too much Sword Art Online, and it goes in places. But Fate is like weird because Fate is just telling like the same story from different routes. Because Fate is started as a visual novel, and it's like, hey, what if instead of this happened? Like Fate is a lot of what ifs, and then also their side series like, what if they just all made food and it was nice? But yeah, Fate is this like way too much going on. Sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the dude. Sometimes it's like in the past. It's a lot going on with that. Um, I didn't watch any of that. And then this is where we're gonna get our Netflix shit. This is where they dump Netflix stuff in here as OVAs, ONAs, and specials. I have not finished the. It's only 10 episodes. I have not finished this season of Agretzko. Also, hey, guess what? Not too long ago, the fourth season of Agretzko came out. I feel like nobody's talking about that, um, but it is. I don't think they need to keep making this show. I'm going to say that. I think it peaked in season 2, and season 3 was okay. And the 4 episodes I've seen of this are also fine. You keep forgetting to watch. Yeah. Look, 2 big shows came out in December on Netflix. This was not the one that I got excited about. We'll get to that one. Ancient Girls Frame. Hey, guess what? There was another mecha show I didn't watch this season. Uh, I have no idea what this is. Tony says I saw it. Wasn't that great, honestly. Kind of feel like there's 3 plots in one season. Yeah, it feels like they're just kind of running out of big steam. I did not watch this. Baki um, aired in September. And so there's the September Netflix. Um, it's more Baki. Look, here's the thing. I can't tell you that you're gonna like if you've never seen a Baki. Oh, Gretzko, yeah, you did see it. I can't tell you that any Baki is good. I don't think Baki is particularly good, but it is the modern interpretations that have been on Netflix of Baki Hanma are very true to the fact of what's good about Baki and the fact that this is a show about violent martial artists killing each other, but then they're not dead, but then they are dead. And like, why are all these people still alive? And did that person just reattach their arm? What? That person was poisoned to death. They're fine now? Okay. It's just a lot of people who won't fucking die killing each other. And it's also a love story. But in the end of it, at the end of the day, it's a story about one man's dream of murdering his father. That is literally what the show is about. Baki's got to get strong enough to kill his dad at some point. And that's why this show exists. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. It's visceral. It's violent. This is like the 3rd adaptation of it over time. Because there have been a bunch of different Bakis that focus on different stories of the show. The sub and dub is so different in painting Baki. I haven't seen any of that. I've only seen the subtitle. I haven't seen any of the dub, but I can imagine that's getting creative with it. The famous Arizona State Prison. Yeah, who knows? It's a lot. And laughed when I saw that. Yeah, Tony, that is very funny. But yes, it is like some real fucking nonsense. Like, there's a guy that like loses the will to fight, and he goes from being like a strong nonsense person to a tiny little dried up old man because he's hundreds of years old, and his desire to fight was keeping him young and healthy. Like, and then, but also he doesn't fucking die. Spoiler alert: that dude gets the will to fight again and gets back to normal. Jesus. I don't know the first thing about Battle Spirits Mirage. Don't know anything about that. Bandai made it, and I know nothing about it. Blue Period, I've heard very good things about this. And it's on Netflix. I've heard some good shit about this. I have not watched it. This is my um, thing I'm going to watch next season that came out this season show. Like I'm going to check it out. Because I've heard some pretty good things about this show. Yeah, Blue Period. So painting, Blue Period. Get it? Yeah. Bright Samurai Soul. I don't. This. I mean, this image just looks terrible. Didn't watch that. Didn't watch that. Look, we don't get Doggy Corgi. As far as I know, it might be on YouTube, but I would watch Doggy Corgi. It also doesn't look like it's over in here, probably. That sounds great. Season 2 was just looping animation, so maybe it isn't good. Wait. Yes, Bright is related to the movie that Will Smith is in. Yes. It's a prequel because it's set as samurais, but it's it is related to the world of Bright. How it's related, I don't know, but it is. Yes. Um, episode N Kuso. I don't know what that is. Uh, this sounds good. Uh, I guess it showed up on Crunchyroll, but I'd never heard of this. I don't. I. Also, the source is a dojin, which doesn't make any sense to me, doesn't she? Uh, um, but it is a web animation of a story. Uh, there's Doki-chan and Doki-kun, and the girl likes the guy, but also there are other girls that also want to like the guy. And I don't know. That sounds kind of neat. A romance slice of life, etchy. Don't necessarily need that in my life, but whatever. Um, I'm gonna try to track that down. It's a cute and etchy manga. Okay. Uh, oh, I need this. Crunchyroll has not put up this OVA. They put the movie up. Crunchyroll, put up the OVA. I need this OVA. I love Given so much. Hey, watch the Given movie. If you watch the anime, the movie is on Crunchyroll. The movie is fucking good. Uh, so please, I love Given. Please watch Given. Uh, Gundam Breaker Battlelog you can watch on Gundam Info, the YouTube channel Gundam Info. That's legal and legit. You can watch that on the web. It's not good. I didn't watch that. I don't know what that is. Here we go. It debuted on December 1st. How many episodes was it? Like, I forget how many episodes it was. Um, hey, yeah, it's fucking Stone. God damn it, Stone Ocean is good. Like, I knew it was going to be good. I knew this was going to be some good shit because the manga fucking rules. And I didn't like Golden Wind, but a lot of people loved Golden Wind. So I was like, well, wait till we get to this fucking story. Because this is some. I mean, it's JoJo set in a prison, and it's fucking weird as hell. But Stone Ocean is just. Goddamn. Like, here's the thing. It sucks that I haven't been to an anime convention this year, and I don't know if I'm going to any next year because this is going to be a good. I mean, I've seen a few people do some cosplay here. Like, you don't need to be ripped to do this, but if you are ripped and this is your gear, get that wig because your hair doesn't do that. God damn. God damn. Also, it's good. It's just good nonsense. Um, yeah, weird stands. Some stands not great in this one. I will say, the mangaka has at a certain point ran out of good ideas for stands, but still good. It always hits. Yeah, like I didn't love Golden Wind because I didn't love a lot of the main characters. Some people love those boys. I didn't love those boys. I like some of those boys. I didn't love all those boys. But Dolan, real good. Uh Masura didn't watch that. Uh, I have seen this OVA. It's pretty good. Um, how come I haven't been able to see this? How come I didn't get to see this? It's only one episode. Somebody pick this up. It's girls playing golf. I want to watch it. It's girls playing golf. Let me watch this anime about girls playing golf. Damn it. One of my friends is a middle school teacher, and the kids love JoJo, and it's weird to me. Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. JoJo work. Well, here's the thing. Also, Diamond is Unbreakable. Has a little kid that eventually gets incredibly cool powers, and his power also involves someone that says swears and is rude. But also, especially Diamond is Unbreakable, just like most JoJo, modern JoJo is just big colors and big characters and punching. And so I totally understand why kids would think it's rad. Have you talked about the hockey anime yet? Yes, I did. We did talk about the hockey anime that's also an idol anime. And the general consensus among people was, wait, what? Yeah, I mean, it lost me when they started singing. But the idea that they're playing hockey was kind of fun. But yeah, we did talk about that. We were almost done with what came out this season. We're about ready to preview. I haven't seen any of Star Wars Visions. I'm on a Star Wars break. Don't ask me anything about the new Boba Fett because I haven't seen it. I think it actually comes out tomorrow at the time of this recording. But I don't know shit about that. I'm on a Star Wars break, so I didn't see any of this. A lot of good companies working on stuff. You know, Production IG doing Star Wars stuff sounds pretty good. Science Saru doing Star Wars stuff sounds pretty good. Trigger doing Star Wars stuff sounds pretty good. Like a lot of these companies doing Star Wars stuff. Saru, particularly, that sounds pretty great. But I haven't watched it. Uh, First episode. Okay. Um, Super Crooks. I don't know what this is. It's on Netflix. I haven't heard anything about this. The art looks kind of cool. Bones. Hey, Bones is pretty fucking good. Bones has an A tier and a B tier studio, but that doesn't look too bad. But I don't know shit about this. Came out at like Thanksgiving, and I don't know anything about it. Visions is all right, but I mostly watched it because of the More Civilized Age podcast. I get you, Nathan. I get you. I don't know anything about this. Hockey Story. I do want to watch. It's on Funimation. I didn't watch it. All came out at once, and I like Science Saru a lot. Um, and then Way of the House Husband. Look, if you like this art style, this motion comics, motion graphic art style, I'm glad for you. I think the manga is awesome, and I think the manga works. I do not like the choice. Also, people have said to me, well, the mangaka really likes how it looks. And one, he could be lying because it would behoove him to lie. And two, I don't care if he likes it. I don't like it. And I decide what if I get to that's on me. It doesn't matter. Author's intent only goes so far until it becomes what I want. And what I want is a fully actually animated Way of the House Husband. Here's my thing. I like the live action commercials because it's just a dude playing the dude. Uh, I like those ads for the first season better than I like Way of the House Husband. Uh, yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me. I want to like it, I just don't. Um, I only got 2 episodes in this time. I didn't watch Super Crooks because I'm not a Mark Millar fan. Ooh, I'm not either. I like Bones. I don't like Mark. So, yeah, that is a major turn off there. Thank you for letting us know, Nathan. Um, but yeah, Way of the House Husband again. If you like it, enjoy it. It just doesn't do anything for me. So, so I'm good. And that is gonna do it because also there's some music project here that I think is just animated things for the thing. I don't know anything about it. But that's the whole season there. I'm gonna drink a little more water here because we haven't even talked about winter yet. We went 2 hours and we haven't talked about the winter season. We are going to go instead of alphabetical order. We're going to do release date for next airing episode because the winter 2022 season technically already started because we are partway through Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc, which is part of season 2. It's following behind the train adaptation. Um, yes, please also note that the first episode is long. It's a double length. So even though it's only 11 episodes, there was also all of the other episodes. Hey, it's more fucking Demon Slayer, and it rules. It absolutely rules. Demon Slayer is so good. Again, we're doing the preview here. We're already a few episodes in, so check that out. I believe it is on both. Yeah. Oh, it's on Netflix too. It's everywhere. Um, I don't know if Netflix is doing weekly or if they're going to do it at the end, but you can watch it on Crunchyroll or Funimation. Um, if you don't like Demon Slayer, that this isn't going to change your mind. But if you love the first season, this is more fucking really good Demon Slayer. Um, I did not watch Vanitas no Carte. I didn't watch the first season of the case study of Vanitas. So I can't tell you anything about season or part two of it. It's vampires, and they're gonna save the vampires because some of the vampires are messed up, and the main character's kind of he's a lovable asshole. Yeah, I didn't watch the first season, so I'm not necessarily interested in this one, obviously, or the part two. Um, hey, ask me how interested I am in a slice of life about a cop who is thinking of quitting being a cop until the new department head comes in, and now she's interested in being a cop. The answer to that question is I'm not interested at all. I don't. That does not none of the thing about that interests me. Uh, yeah, I don't want to watch that. Madhouse makes good shit, but I'm not interested in this particular story. I am interested, though, I will say, in the land of Leadale or Leadale. I don't know how it's pronounced because I've never seen it. I've never heard it said out loud. Hey, this is your light novel shit. This is the light novel isekai. There are plenty of isekai this season. This is one that I've been reading. The thing for me is I haven't read the light novel. I've read the manga. The manga's not. There are not too many chapters of the manga out. This anime is gonna blow past the manga very quickly, like halfway through the first season. I feel like. This is one of the sadder. It's a little slice of lifey, but it's mostly an action show. But this girl's been on life support, and she plays this virtual reality game, and then she dies, and she wakes up in the game, and the game is now real life in the future. A bunch of years have passed, and it's her like having freedom to move around and be alive, and wondering what it means to be dead in this world, and then also being like, hey, I guess I'm my character. So I had NPC kids. Uh, like, yeah, she has children. She like designed NPCs to be her kids, and so she's like, I guess I should go see my kids. It's been 200 years, and I've got magic, and I'm an elf. So it starts off fucking sad, and I wonder how the anime, like, I don't know who's picking this up, but somebody's got to be picking this up. Oh, Crunchyroll picked it up. Okay, I'm excited. Um, it's good. I haven't read the light novel. I just read the manga, but I'm interested. Um, I don't think I'm gonna watch Orient. Uh, this seems just very cookie cutter. One guy wants to be a hero. His childhood friend isn't gonna do it. Uh, and fight the demons. Yeah, I'm okay. Tokyo 24th Ward. Cloverworks. Cloverworks. Um, and childhood friends. And I don't know what, like, I think this is another death game anime, so I'm not interested in that, but I do like Cloverworks. But yeah, nah. Hey, talk about a thing I am not interested. It's Sayuki Reload Zerion. Um, so this is a remake of the Sayuki anime, which is, I believe it's a remake. I want to say it's a remake, or a continuation. Um, this is Journey to the West. And I liked this anime in the 90s when I was not tired of Goku. Song Goku specifically, not our friend Goku. That Goku, not DBZ Goku, but Song Goku, the Monkey King. I don't care about Romance of the Three Kingdoms or Journey to the West anymore. I'm good. They got me with one anime, where I won't spoil it, where it was a fighting tournament style anime, and it turned out the main character was the Monkey King. And they didn't explain that until later in the series, and I was like, you got me. Fine. I do like it. But I don't need that shit. World's End Harem. This is okay. First off, the story is weird. Second off, the story of the story is weird. So the premise sucks ass, right? Dude has a disease. He's like, I'm gonna go to cold sleep. Uh, because she also has a disease. He wakes up 5 years later. Everything there's been another disease wiped out most men, almost all men. World's End Harem looks like the Omega Man. It was written by a really horny teenager. Doodles, you make an excellent point. Um, so yeah, he wakes up 5 years later, and there aren't a lot of ladies, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Um, episode one came out this season. It came out on the 8th. They put out the first episode, and then they delayed it to this season. Why bother putting the first episode out when you know you're not done with the second episode? So it came out, quote unquote, and it's coming out later. I'm gonna have to figure out if this is an isekai or not, because it is a different world. He did wake up in a different world, but it's still Earth. It's just changed. So it's debatable in my mind if this counts as it's a loose definition of different world. Um, I think it's just like, I don't think it is. Um, but also, I'm not gonna watch it. I didn't watch the first episode. Fuck that shit. Uh, Man, I think I read some of the manga. I think it may be bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna guess it is. This hurt my head. Uh, this hurts my head, I should say. Hey, here's the show I'm gonna watch. Well, I'm gonna even put it. That's a check right there. These checks don't always mean anything. Sometimes I put checks there. Sometimes they just show up. The issue with the website. Here is a show I'm gonna watch. Connect is making it. I don't necessarily love their animation style, but I do like this premise because it's a girls doing things slice of life. We get one of those this season. Um, she loves fishing. She meets other people who like fishing. And it's just, then also, wait, are we fucking related to each other? Yes. The two girls meet, like each other, they become stepsisters. And then camping and fishing happens. I haven't read this manga. I don't know anything else about it, but it's girls fishing, and I like that the last one we got of those, so I'm in. Yeah, Slow Loop is definitely getting a shot for me. I'm gonna add to my watching list. Um, because I forgot this was coming out, and so I'm excited about that. Get out of here. I'm not going to do this anymore because that takes too long to go away. Uh, Nathan has to go. The shows I'm most interested in are My Dress Up Darling and Sakugi Bisco. Okay, duly noted. Thank you, Nathan. That's one. This one, Slow Loop, I'm definitely interested in. Land of Leadale, I'm interested in because there's a bunch of isekai this season. That's one I'm interested in. Teasing Master. Well, this is, yeah. I've never liked this show. The central premise is these two characters sit next to each other in school, and she teases them all the time, and I don't like that. So I've never been into it. I don't care that she likes him, and maybe he even likes the attention. It doesn't mind being teased. I don't, just leave him alone. Tell him you like him. Whatever. This is an idol anime based on a mobile game. Um, called Q, and I'm good on that. This definitely looks like it's based on a video game. It is for kids called Ninjala, which is a good name. I'm also, I do love the World Ninja Association. That is also a thing that I enjoy the name of. Um, Ninja DNA, which so there's a ninja tournament. I'm okay. I think I'm all right with whatever that is. The strongest sage with the weakest crest. Into this, I will tell you that the girl with the red hair is a dragon in her human form. Xandra, if you're still here, I think you're going to love this dragon girl because she is very fun. Um, uh, this is an isekai that I don't know is necessarily great, but it is fun. Basically, this dude was like, I there are crests, right? And the crest you have different combat capabilities for the crest, right? And this dude's like, I don't have a battle crest. I'm so mad about that. I'm good, but I could be better. So he basically is just like, I'm gonna get reincarnated and I'm gonna get the crest I actually want uh for combat. But then he wakes up and something's fucking up because here's the thing, his crest is the best for it, but it's the hardest to learn and use. In the beginning, people are bad at it. So everyone thinks that it's a bad crest. And so people were like, oh, that sucks. You got the weak crest. And he's just like, what? No, it's the way you use it. Uh, and then he meets this duo of girls. You can see they have magic and archery, and they're nice. We don't get enough of those girls and their personalities because they're kind of tied to one another. Um, but it's cute. It's pretty fun. They get stronger from working with him. They meet a dragon that remembers him, and he's just like, "Well, you can come around." Basically, it is shitty because he does meet the dragon again because like it's like I need transportation, and then he's like, "Well, that won't do." And she's like, "Okay," and she's a dragon, so she has to learn like how not to like cave in the floor when she's walking around and jumping or whatever. She's pretty fun. Um, that is a good support character. So yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I'm excited about it. JC staff will do a great job. They're a good studio. There's not really romance in this. I don't know why we're including romance. I mean, it's not really that harem-y because he doesn't necessarily have feelings for any of them, other than he appreciates them. My dress up darling was mentioned by Nathan as being something Nathan is interested in. Um, I don't know enough about Hina dolls. I hope we will learn on here. Uh, I don't love that this is ecchi or it's been tagged as ecchi by viewers. But I do like the idea of uh, the popular girl that secretly wants to do cosplay and the guy who can sew. Uh, oh, I thought that name of the series was My Dress Up Darling was mentioned by Nathan. No, Nathan Explosion in chat mentioned this was a show that he was excited about. It's by Cloverworks, so that's a fun. Who knows? If it's really ecchi, I might be not interested. But I do like the idea of them becoming, their partnership becoming because he can sew. Um, because he's just interested in a real niche, weird thing. Uh, Sono Bisque Doll is the manga name. Okay. Um, Akibi Sailor Uniform. Crunchyroll's picking this up. This is a slice of life. Um, I do like the idea of a girl who joins a school because she likes the uniform. That's a terrible reason to join a school, and I like that. Um, Also, the photo makes it seem like she's the only one that wears that uniform, which is also weird. I wish they told me anything else about it. I might check this out. I don't know. It's another Cloverwork. Cloverworks all over the place, I guess. The dress up one. I read some of this. It's fun, but it's only a little bit ecchi, not that much. Great. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, if it's just like him being embarrassed that she's changing, like, sure. But if it's like, hubba hubba, I'm all right. Um, uh, so Sailor Uniform. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. It's a slice of life. Do they do activities? I don't know, but I might check that out. Crunchyroll's picking it up, so that's good. Um, hey, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm excited about it. We're gonna pass the manga. I know what happens in the manga, and I feel like this anime will go beyond it. Part two. I didn't know we were getting that this soon, so I'm excited about it because I won't tell you where on the list it is, but I will tell you that How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom is on my anime top 10 for 2021. Is no shame about changing. Okay, so that was what it was. All right, great. Um, so this is what happens when a human that has no, he does have some abilities, but he's not like he's not the world's best assassin. He's like a dude that was in college and wanted to be like a civil engineer. Uh, or be in local government or something. And now he's the king in a fantasy world. And they just like stopped the war. But the problem is the people that they were in war with are part of this big coalition. Uh, the Grand Chaos Empire is now like, well, we have to get involved with this. So, look, is this a harem anime? Yes. Is he interested in most of the girls? Not actually, really. It's very clear that several of those girls would like to be with him. He definitely wants to be with one of them. So it's not like etchy. There is like a little bit of romance. He is engaged to be married, and then he has secret engagements. He can't. He's got to marry the princess first, and then he'll see what else happens. But so I liked it. I like Kazuya. Also, a big thing in the first season, and this is going to sound weird to say that I like this. Um, it explores the fact that he openly uses propaganda. It does not shy away from the fact that he is aware of what he is doing. That he has like a young child and a beautiful woman, woman with blue hair, sing songs because they just took over this place that has been very strict and they haven't had a lot of freedom. So he's like, hey, here's some television. It's not TV, it's projected with magic, whatever. But he's like, here's a little girl singing a cute song. Here's this beautiful woman singing a song. And here is this woman from your own military singing your national anthem. And I'll let you do that. I'm going to let you do that. And he knows this is propaganda. And they're aware of that. And that's interesting because generally you're not getting that in anything militaristic from Japan. So that's kind of interesting that they go into it. Miss Kiritosu from the Monster Development Department. I think I want to watch this. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's picking this up. I do like the slice of life style thing about like the background person in it. Like she's just like, yeah, they're fighting heroes or whatever, but she's just doing her job. She's like got PowerPoint presentations. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Because it's just like, yeah, she's not like a hero. She's like on like the back end and development. That's kind of interesting. Doodle says the show is so deep in your wheelhouse that I'm probably gonna hand it the rudder. I love shows that parody other styles of shows and show behind the scenes, day to day lives of people who make things happen for the boss. Yeah, this is like the grunts of the operation, the behind the scenes, the people in the background getting the work done. So that seems cool. I hope someone picked this up. I don't know, because it's not listed. But they don't always list them this early. Sometimes they just air. So I'll keep track of that. Saburo no Armor remake. This is an adaptation of a multimedia project that first started with a stage play and then a manga adaptation. A gun user and a mercenary group and Oda Nobunaga. I'm okay. Hey, this could turn out to be great. I think this art looks awful. This looks terrible. It could be good, but I'm good. Baro no Sorsu. Don't have an English title for that yet. This one maybe is going to be good. I don't know. This is based on an early draft of Shakespeare's Richard III. It's not so that's an interesting sentence. Yeah, the House of York. So this is like kind of Richard III. That's kind of cool. There's there's supernatural stuff in it. Stinks of early Netflix 3D animes. Yeah, kind of that one. The armor one. Yikes. I don't know. I don't know. This could be okay. Uh, Futsal Boys. This is a soccer or football, or no, sorry, it's a futsal team. Um, the franchise story is set. The franchise, really, it's a franchise. This is already a franchise, folks. Uh, okay, so this is a decade after futsal has already taken over the world, and this is like people playing. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this. There's no way I'm gonna watch this. I watch so few sports anime. There's no way this is gonna be one that I watch. Um, Studio Dean, Studio Dean, going back to its roots, really interests me. I have not read Sasaki and Miyano, but this interests me a lot because this is uh, gay. This is very gay, and the studio that has most recently been just bringing you lots of like the Seven Deadly Sins anime is going back to some of its earlier roots and giving you like a gay slice of life romance. And I'm excited about them doing this project because this could be good. Yeah, this could be good. Uh, Funimation picked it up. Okay, good. I figured Funimation would pick it up, but yeah, that could be real good. And like I said, Dean doing going back to its roots a bit there, like that. Um, hey, enjoy Attack on Titan final season part two. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's everything you wanted. I hope you're not disappointed like the manga fans seem to have been. Um, I gave up on this show a long time ago. I've made my thoughts known. I will summarize it here. Uh, Attack on Titan reached a point where it revealed what the show was really about. And I was more interested in what the show was presenting than it was about, and instead of what it became about, which actually was about the whole time. Once it became about select people who can become Titans, I was done with it. When it was about humanity's last effort to fight the Titans, I was still engaged. But once it became about the transformations, I was kind of done with it. And so I've been done with it for a while. I hope it's everything you wanted because I do want people to like have things they like. Yeah, I was interested in a little bit, but then I'm like, I'm good. Um, Holy shit! I watched the trailer for this, y'all. This thing is uh this is a they made a Upright Citizens Brigade sketch into reality. They made violent baseball. They made a violent baseball anime. This is Murder Ball. They made a UCB sketch for like season 1 or 2 of their sketch show 20 years ago. Uh it's extreme baseball. It's an anime about extreme baseball, and the trailer. I watched the trailer of this, and I was like, "Oh, this is garbage." Someone I know is gonna love it, but holy shit, yeah, I'm not interested in Murder Ball. Um, I did not like season 1 of Princess Connect Redive. I do not enjoy that the main character has no memory and is just a fool because he doesn't have any memory and any knowledge. And I do think that the fun girls around him are cute and fun, uh, but not enough to watch that show. So I will not be checking out season 2. But enjoy it if that's your thing. Um, this was another one that was listed by Nathan, Sabiku Bisco. This does not sound good, but I've heard very good things about the manga. Oh, Crunchyroll is picking it. Oh, okay, that's fun. They say it's a Funimation, but Crunchyroll has a trailer, so who knows? Uh, I've got to watch the Murder Baseball trailer. Would you say it's absurd or horrific? It's just it seems weird and boring and bad. It just seems like a bad show and a bad trailer for a show. It feels like they made the trailer before they finished the first episode, so they don't really have footage. That's what it really feels like. Um, okay, post-apocalyptic wasteland. Bisco and a friend. Uh, Look, I will say this. This doesn't sound interesting to me until we get to the point where it says joining him on this epic saga to save the country is a giant crab and a young doctor. You have my interest at giant crab. And also that it says it's a trio. So it's not uh, a wanted criminal, a doctor, and their transportation. Apparently, the crab is a main character. I guess I'm gonna watch the first episode of this. I guess I'm gonna watch the first episode. I don't know. Oh, I'm definitely not gonna watch the first episode of Fantasia Sango, Realm of Legends. Is this based on a video game that is probably that will never be released in any way that I can play it? I'm sure. This looks garbage. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt, based on a light novel. I've read a little of this manga. This is what happens when you just like you're really hoping you can fuck up, uh, but you can't seem to not fuck up. Like he doesn't want to be the prince of a failing country. He wants to get out of there, but he can't help but succeed. I like the premise. I like what I've read of it. Um, I'm gonna check this out. Life with an ordinary guy who reincarnated in total fantasy knockout. This is the isekai I will not be watching because this sucks. Um, so I don't mind the idea of uh, two people getting summoned. Uh, I don't mind the idea of the fact that he's been summoned in a different body of the gender that he identifies as. I don't mind that at all. We're going to come to another anime. Literally, there's another isekai this season where that happens as well. I don't mind that. I do mind that this story is mostly about how weird that is. Like, just accept it and move on. But the comedy of this is the comedy of that old man is now a hot lady, and his friend is there too, and what? Yeah, and then like he can get his body back, so that's why they're going there. Uh, yeah, it's not a rom com at all. I don't think this is good. I don't recommend Life with an Ordinary Guy who reincarnated a total fantasy knockout. Um, this is the one that I do recommend. This is one of the isekai that I am excited about this season. A Land of Ladle, I'm certainly excited about, and also excited about. She professed herself pupil of the wise man. This show got delayed. This was supposed to come out last year. There were two isekai that I was excited about last year. They got delayed, or this year, but now it's coming out next year. It was pupil of a wise man and Skeleton Knight. Skeleton Knight still isn't coming out. It's been delayed again. I'm worried about that. This one, this is another MMO person. This is a gender swap here. Basically, like the best player in an MMO was like changing around his character and like put it in a costume to make it a young lady. And then he woke up inside the young lady's body in the future. Everyone remembers who his other character, Danbulf, and he's like, well, okay, I'm going to pretend to be. No one knows that character better than me because I was him. I'm going to pretend to be the pupil. It's fun. It's a fun isekai. I recommend it. I'm going to be checking it out. Who knows if it'll turn out great, but I do like it, so I'm going to check that out. Love of Kill. I believe the first episode. Yeah, the first episode aired on Anime NYC, and it might be on YouTube on Crunchyroll's YouTube. Um, Love of Kill is such a terrible name. I don't have any interest in watching this. Uh, I do like that it's called Love of Kill because that's a terrible name. And then Ari Farta. Um, I hope that the I hope the computer generated animation of this is good. So I don't think this is a good show. Um, but I do think that it is interesting. So really, I would say watch the anime or read the manga until our main dude Hajime and Yue, the vampire, watch the show until they escape the first dungeon that he's trapped in, and then after that, it's not great. It just becomes another harem, and it's weird. And he's not nice. I mean, he's nice to the little mermaid girl who decides that he's her dad. Um, uh, she was calling him Big Bro, and he was like, don't call me that." And so she was like, "Okay, then Papa, you're either my big brother or you're my dad." And he was like, "Ah, shit." Um, he's also an edge lord, and I respect the fact that he is. He gets called out as being an edge lord, and I appreciate that. This dude, this is the edgiest edge lord uh, in modern anime. Holy shit! This dude is like, look, he was abandoned. He was there was an attempted murder by one of his classmates. He did have shitty powers in this world, and he didn't ask to be there. And he becomes more monster than man in an attempt to survive and get revenge. But he is so fucking filled with animosity, and it is an act. He does care about people, so he does suck shit. But I like it. I still like the show. Um, uh, I'm gonna watch it. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend you catching up with the first season, but I'm gonna. I know I'm gonna watch it. Um, Ryman's Club. I don't. This is a sports thing about badminton, which is interesting. Uh, I also like the premise. This isn't a high school badminton. This is about a dude that plays badminton on the side. He works. He has a job, but he on the side is involved in badminton because that's lower stakes than high school badminton, in my opinion. Um, who knows if we're gonna get any of these shorts? This looks like girls in a band. I bet we don't get that. On air Denkai. Uh, set in the distant past of 2014. Uh, that's kind of fun. Behind the scenes of a TV company. I don't think we're gonna get that. We might get that. I don't know. I'm gonna be quick about this. Theater of Darkness. We'll get that. Crunchyroll always pulls these. I don't like these. I know some people love Theater of Darkness. It's not my thing. And then Leftovers. We talked about these. I can't believe this show got a double length. Platinum End looks so terrible. I'm gonna watch Korajiri, The One Reason, Aoyuki. She's doing all the voices, and I want to see her let loose on a show where she's not a spider. Oh yeah, I mean, hey, we did have one anime season where she was a spider and an immortal witch, because that's the same voice actress, the Soma Spider So What Spider, and the I've been killing slimes for 300 years and finally and maxed out my level is the same voice actress, and she was on at the same time. That was kind of fun. And then we got some movies. Uh, oh, this here we go. Look, I didn't love every moment of Fruits Basket, but I'm so happy that everyone got all of Fruits Basket. I'm so happy for everyone that Fruits Basket got fully released, and because it never did the first time around. I am very excited about this, about learning about Toru's parents, because it wasn't part of the adaptation. Uh, and it's got new stuff. So some of it's from the manga, and then again, the mangaka was heavily involved in the re-release and the remake of Fruits Basket, and is going to be involved in this. That's cool. I'm really hoping that Funimation has this, or Crunchyroll or whoever. I'm not really necessarily excited about any other things here. There's more Fate stuff. Uh, this is not this is not a full season. I thought this was going to be the next season. I was surprised. The regular Magic School just had a second season, and then also had the side story, which is basically the events of the first season from like fill in the blanks from Miyuki's point of view. If you like the irregular at Magic School, but you think the worst part of it is the fact that the brother and sister are clearly in love with each other and how fucking creepy and weird that is, well, at least some of this story involves her not being in love with him. Because it's how he learns to fall. It's how she learns to fall in love with him, I guess. Uh, yeah. This is like how they come together. I hadn't heard about Fruit Basket's prelude. Prelude. Gotta check that out for sure. Yes, totally. I'm so excited that happens. Anyway, yes, this is like how they became as close as they become. Um, you got another episode of the second season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, season 2, which I didn't love. Season 2. Um, more Pocket Monster stuff. So yeah, it's more Pokemon. Um, Definitely gonna catch the Dragon Maid extra episode. It looks like great fun. Yeah, I didn't love season 2 because I didn't love the introduction of the new characters. They didn't do anything for me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it. I did love more Elma because I feel like she wasn't really used a lot in the first season. But yeah, it didn't really do a lot for me. Um, Not gonna watch that. This just looks like a video game. This just looks like a visual novel. I don't know what these things are. So, oh yeah, we got World Heroes Mission, um, which is an extra. Um, Girl from the Other Side. There is a. This is this is an unaired episode that's coming out, and I believe that this episode of Jobless Reincarnation, which is like events around episode 5 that were in the manga, I believe this is going to come out, and Funimation's going to air this. They don't often do OVAs, but I believe they're doing this OVA. Let's see. I don't think anyone's going to. I might have to break the law to see this. I love Nanan Biori. I think the third season accomplished the impossible. It introduced new characters and maybe love new characters. You passed the Orbital Children. That's by the creator director of Donu Koyo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Orbital Children. We'll go back to that for a second. Anime set in 2045. Oh, it's production. Okay. Internet and AI are commonplace even in space. This is 6 episodes. It looks like Netflix is getting this. Drone they can manipulate through smartphones and low intelligence AI. They overcome many crises. Okay. Huh. That might be Kids in Peril, which I don't love, but all right, I might check that out. Anyway, I love Nanan Biori. The third season introduced new characters, wrapped up a bunch of stories, was a beautiful end to the series. This is the 13th episode of Nonstop, which was the third series, and it comes with the special edition of Remember spin-off manga. Oh, there was a spin-off manga to celebrate the show. Yeah, Kids in Peril. Yeah, not my thing. No kids are in peril in Non Biori, other than occasionally they cry a little bit. I really hope that Crunchyroll puts this up so I can watch it. I love Non Biori. I love the third season. I would love to see an OVA. I don't know what that is, and that's it. Okay, so I kind of ran through this because we are now. I've been doing this now for 2.5 hours, which is a lot of talking. So this season, plenty of action, some romance, lots of isekai. And again, only at least one, maybe 2 girls doing things. Yeah. Slow Loop looks like the cute girls doing cute things thing. If you think fishing is cute and cooking. But that looks good. Slow Loop looks like a winner. I don't know. I might check out this Sailor Uniform one. Animation's got it. I want to know more about it. But yeah, those are the shows that I'm definitely interested in. Of course, in the land of Leadale, I'm interested in as well. Um, Demon Slayer, I'm watching right now. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And I believe I'm going to end this video here in a moment, and then I'm going to keep talking to the stream. But I'll end this recording in just a moment by saying um, I don't know exactly when my top 10 video is going to air. My top 10 from 2021 will air soon on my YouTube, but I don't know the exact date. I don't know if it's the next one or if it'll be like off. It might not come up on a Monday, so just stay tuned to youtube.com/PatBear. And thanks for watching. And in the comments below on this YouTube video, let me know what you liked at the end of 2021 and what you're excited about for 2022, which when you're watching this, it will be 2022. Weird. Okay.